Truth in comedy, ladies and gentlemen. Truth in comedy. Our next comedian is awesome. Make some noise for Jake, the cool middle school teacher, Mr. Christensen!
He doesn't actually know me. That's why I just said, he's awesome! Middle school teacher kid, like, come on up. But actually, I was a substitute teacher for high school, middle school, and elementary school.
Nailed it,
man. Yeah. Which middle school was, okay, elementary school was the worst of those. No offense. Middle school was, it was just kind of, I don't know, the awkwardness of middle school, it still is very much real, even when you're an adult walking into a middle school. You go in there and you start talking to kids and you're just like, I feel awkward. Like, I don't belong here. That's exactly how I felt all 3 years of middle school. I remember, as a substitute teacher, I was trying to like kind of get real with the kids. And I was like, okay, when I call roll, when I say your name, I want you to tell me something that you're passionate about. So I pull up the roll and I'm like, okay, John. And John goes, let's see, what did John say? John goes, the Bulls. He didn't actually say that, I just thought of your hat, and so that's why I went with Bulls. The Chicago Bulls, and I was like, okay, yeah, you're passionate about the Bulls, cool. Cindy, she goes, Keira Knightley. And I was like, okay, like that, you're like a fan of it, but I don't know if you're like really passionate about it. And I was like, let me go next, okay? I'm passionate about filmmaking. I believe that one great film can change the world, and so that's one thing that I study, that's what I do for work, and that's what I'm trying to become, is a great filmmaker who can change the world. So that's why I'm passionate about filmmaking. Now, Brian, what are you passionate about? And he said, Cheez-Its. Okay. I wasn't planning on doing any middle school jokes, but since you introduced me as a middle school teacher, I felt obligated to go there. So I have a girlfriend. Thank you. And you ever be in a relationship and you have like something about the person that you kind of want to change, just like a little bit, you know, not like, oh, I wish you were black, you know. Just like something little, you know? So like, sometimes she wears mom pants. And, no offense. There's great mom pants out there. You're not even wearing mom pants, you're wearing just great pants. But mom pants are very much a real thing, you know, high-waisted, baggy. And so I was like, okay, how can I bring this up to her? And I got this idea. I was like, oh, I'll ask her what I can change. And then she told me some stuff, and then she'll ask me it back. So it's a great plan. So I go to her, and I'm like, hey babe, I just want to know, like, I just want to be like a good boyfriend. So like, is there anything about me that I can change, like to be better? Like, is there anything you want me to do to be better? She was like, oh, no. I mean, I love everything about you. And I was just telling my mom this the other day that like things are just going so good, and like I wouldn't change a single thing about you, even if I could. Like I really just love everything about you. I was like, thank you. Wow, you're so sweet. And she goes, why, is there anything you want me to change? I was like, come here. No, there's nothing. Like, my friends, the other day, they were like, she wears mom pants, and I was like, what? So I'm single. Living with roommates, which is always a joy. I always wondered like how girl roommates do it, because I have no idea what I would do if my roommate came to me and was like, "I'm just not handsome enough." Be like, "Dude, no, you're you're pretty, like, you're good, like, I'm sure that's not the only reason girls don't like you." My favorite roommate I've ever had in college, his name was Caesar. And what's not funny about Caesar is that he's in a wheelchair. And what is funny about Caesar is that he's in a wheelchair. I don't mean that like in a rude way. I just think a lot of funny things happen to people in wheelchairs. And he's in a wheelchair because he has spinal muscular atrophy, which means he has full feeling throughout his body, but he just doesn't have strength to move it. He's been in a wheelchair since he was 10 years old. He's a great guy, he has a great sense of humor, freaking love him. And as his roommate, me and my other roommates, we were also his caretakers, so we would help him get ready in the morning, help him get dressed, and then help him get to bed at night, and we would help him with his food, and we would help him shower. Which, for those of you who have never showered a grown man, you're normal. Caesar, the first time I showered him, I mean, I knew it was going to be awkward. You know, I knew it was going to feel like walking into a middle school. And so I decided I was going to fight awkward with awkward. You know, if you push awkward far enough, it becomes funny. So I went and I got the bathroom all ready, and then I got him in his shower chair, and I wheeled him into the bathroom, and I had lit candles. And I had a playlist of love songs playing. And I would insert his name into the songs as much as I could. Like, can you clean the seas tonight? And I threw in one All American Reject song because it works so good. I'll clean you, my dirty little Caesar. At the end of it, Caesar was like, "That is the most awkward shower I've ever had in my life." Which was true. For one day. The next day, my roommate, Justice, went to shower him, and he had a similar tactic of fighting awkward with awkward, except he went and got Caesar in the shower, and then he stepped out of the bathroom, stripped down, and walked back into the bathroom and said, "I just didn't want you to feel awkward being the only one naked." Caesar was like, "You will not touch me until your clothes are on." One day I was walking home from school, home from class, and Caesar was just on his way to class, and we met on the sidewalk right next to our building. We were sitting there talking for a little bit, and he asked me for a hug before he took off. And I went to give him a hug, and like I said, he was about to take off, so he had his chair turned up to full speed. And I hugged him, and as I did, I pushed his arm forward into the joystick, and it launched him into a wall. He has foot plates on his chair, and the foot plate folded up with his foot inside of it. And so like he smashes into the wall, and I'm like, "Caesar!" And he's like, "I think my foot's broken." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll go get help. Just stay here." And as I'm running away, I hear Caesar say, "No, I think I'll go for a jog." So I go in to my apartment, my roommates are there, and I'm like, "Hey guys, you know how Caesar's in a wheelchair? I think I just made it worse." Come help me. So we go out there, and Caesar's like, "Call 911," and I'm like, "No, don't call 911," and Caesar's like, "Call 911," I'm like, "I'll get a truck, we'll throw his chair in the back, we'll put him in a cab, we'll take him to the hospital, like, just give me 5 minutes, I'll be right back." And I take off running. And as I'm running away, I hear Caesar yelling, "Call 911!" Which I don't want to call 911 because, first of all, it was freaking expensive, and second of all, it's not like Caesar was using that foot. So, go get a truck. I come back. The ambulance is already there. Caesar, they're checking him out, and they get him in the ambulance. They take him to the hospital. And a couple minutes later, or a couple hours later, me and my roommates, we go to go pick him up and see how he's doing or anything like that. And I'll never forget, we walked into his hospital room, and there's Caesar in the hospital bed, and there's the doctor. And I just couldn't resist. I said, "Doc, just give it to us straight. Will he ever walk again?" And Caesar said, "I already asked him that."